Audio didn't record for any of this, so I'm just going to show my trade recap or show my trade and then kind of go over what was going on in my head during it. So I'm not going to show like much. So right here, I saw a little W 30-second scalp. Um, Even though my draw was the data, this is just like a perfect scalp to equal lows, like just really good momentum, V shape, everything. And I was like, yeah, I'll take this. But I was pulling out my tool and then I was doing the calculations for how many micros or how many whatever I was gonna have to put down, and I ended up just missing this, so I didn't take this at all. Unfortunately, it was a good trade, but not stressed about it whatsoever. Also, I want to show pattern trader here. We swept out data, and now we're about to inverse this 5 minute. This is not going to play out. Okay. On NQ, we didn't sweep data. Um, so yeah, and it's also 11:30, and just not a good time to take a trade. This would be a pattern trade for sure, and this is not going to play out. Definitely not. I'm going to look back at this. We're going to come back to this. This is not going to play out. We might maybe come down, take this, and go up, but like a 1 or 2 is not going to play out. I don't even think this will play out. I think we'll come down here and just immediately come up and take data and then come down. But who am I? Called that shit out to a fucking T. Just came back on to do the trade recap. I said this 5 minute would fail. Um, are you fucking kidding me? Immediate failure, and then come out and actually take out the data highs like I said, and then come down to where I said it'd come. I might know what I'm doing. I might know what I'm doing. All right, but let's get into the trade rate cap for today. I'm just gonna do it on here because it's pretty simple. Um, but let's get into it. Actually, you know what? I'll go on TradingView. To do higher time frame analysis. Coming into the day, I was indecisive because as higher time frame, I was bearish. I was thinking that we could see some momentum back up to data, which ended up happening because the hourly death candle through this inverse, and then we had made like equal lows here. So I was like, okay, we might not go to data. We made relative equal lows, but we just engineered this to come back to later. And the 4 hour gap was still holding. This 4 hour gap held, and that's how when we came to data um, with this candle. But I wanted to get a trade to data because it's a very strong draw, clear draw. So if I had a good setup and I was going to take it, I wanted to take one trade today or really minimize my risk because I wanted to end the week green. I wanted to end the week ideally by green by $200, which we made 230. So 30 over my minimum, which is beautiful risk management. But let's go into what I actually took here. We were rejecting out of this 4 hour, and the 1 hour closed, but I had such a strong draw that I still thought we were going to come up higher. We had swept this low inside this 1 hour. Right here, So we we had ended the up getting liquidity to this go 1 minute up. inverse, and then I didn't end up
And
right off the
on
inverse. I
the
wanted to
one
see
minute,
some
we
momentum to
had
the
made,
upside, just because
no, it wasn't the 1
the
minute, it was 3 minute.
conditions. I wanted
Three
to see
minute,
some momentum,
we
and once we
had
got that, I
made a
entered.
nice inversion, so I was
I ended up
willing to
explaining
take
how
the.
I'm
Oh wait,
managing my
I'm not
risk
even looking
and
at the
how I'm
right
managing this
fucking
trade
thing.
throughout it.
I am
But
bugging the fuck out.
obviously, my idol's
Okay,
not here, and I
three
am not
minute,
going to
we had
explain every second
inversed
of my
this
thoughts.
gap. Actually, no, it wasn't even a three
Again,
minute that I took
so
because
you're
this
just gonna
three
have to
minute would
watch
have
the
played
trade.
out if your stop loss held it, but there was a 1 minute that I ended up taking, which was where was this 1 minute that I took? Wow, I'm really blinking. 9:30. Oh, here it is. Here is the 1 minute inversion I took. 9:30. Manipulates up, manipulates down. V-shaped recovery, pretty solid. My risk was down to this low, and I wanted to see data get hit. So it was a 4 hour trade. Um, After we came up here, I put my stop down to here. So it's like, all right, if we're gonna be right here, we shouldn't see price come back down to here. And it ended up coming down, sweeping. And if we held this trade, which I would not fucking hold through all this, um, I could have either lost, which I lost 60 bucks here. My stop loss would have been 150 down here. But this is just fucking shitty price action, which you can expect from this big ass overnight move. So this ended up playing out. I'm not upset about it because again, I didn't throw a shit ton of risk and I wasn't asking for much out of the market today since it's a Friday and we had such a big overnight move. I wasn't expecting like clean ass price action. I just saw this bread and butter entry and I was like, all right, I'm willing to throw some risk at it and manage it. So after we closed here, I moved my stop loss to this low inside of this gap, intermediate turn low, and it ended up the trade ended up playing out, but just I managed my risk. On a different day, maybe I'd play it differently. Maybe I'd put it down here if I was really confident, which is it's a confident draw. I just didn't want to see price move sideways like this to my draw. I wasn't willing to sit through that today. So I identified that and I didn't play it like that. But after we MNQ and NQ were diverging greatly this morning. So if you're someone who charts on MNQ and doesn't look at NQ, you probably got cooked because you saw that we made equal highs with data. So you could have taken this up to these equal highs and data, strong ass fucking draw, or I think no here yeah here what it was. You thought we swept here, but we didn't actually sweep on NQ, and I called out this 5 minute that um could have been taken that I said this is a pattern trade and it's not going to work before I hopped off the charts. And what do you know? And I also called that we're going to come up to data and then we're going to come down. And that completely worked out. I'm pretty sure I have this in recording and I'll probably put that in. But yeah, um, called this out. But that is my trade recap for today. We are green on the week. That is all that matters. We managed our risk. And yeah, that is all for this trade recap.